Hi everyone, happy Friday. I'm not gonna say it. I am wishing everybody lots of love. See? I'm saying something different. If you saw yesterday's video, then you know why I'm saying that. I want to get out of like the script. Suddenly you have this script and you say it every day and you're like, dude, switch it up. There are other words. There are other ways of communicating the sentiments. Anyway, today we're starting off with the Gypsy, then we're going on to the Tarot of the Divine, and we'll finish off with the Prism. Remember, today's reading is a Friday reading, but it's also a weekend reading, so it could apply to you in any of these 3 days. Sometimes the readings are a little bit broader, so I will tell you, like, this is not like a today reading. This is like a life reading, but we'll see. We don't know what's going to happen today, so I'll let you know when we get to it. Anyway, let me check in. Got the chills. Okay, let's do this. Gypsy, what do we have with Gypsy? Ooh, Lord. Lord is a man. Can it be a female? Yes, but these are old cards. This is probably referring to a male, okay? A male. Somebody in a position of power. Somebody, maybe a little bit full of themselves. A lord. And I say that way because it doesn't come out any other way. I have to say lord. Ooh, child. Are you having a child with this lord? Is this child a lord? I don't know. We'll see. Let's see. Last card. Scholar. Ooh, somebody educated. Well, usually people in that era, if you were a lord, you were probably educated. This is interesting, to say the least. So if you're just tuning in now, I usually use the first cards as a, okay, that wanted to come out, but I don't know. The Queen of Cups just popped out. We'll see if that has anything to do with this. Yeah, the first 3 cards are like the pillars of the reading. I am using I do 3-part reading. Pillars, then the main part, which is with the tarot, and then finally I conclude with some kind of a sentiment or feeling with the Prism. That's the cards that I'm using today. I'm also using sunglasses because I do not feel like wearing makeup today. And this is very unforgiving lighting. I guess I'm vain that way, and I'm okay with that. Anyway, let's see what this reading is about. A boot. Lord. What do we have for Lord? Ooh, 4 of Swords. I've told you this before. I do not like the 4 of Swords in this deck. I don't feel like it conveys the sentiment of the 4 of Swords. I disagree with it. So I'm not going to show it to you anymore. It's the 4 of Swords. But the 4 of Swords is usually talking to us about, well, maybe, let's see. Let's see what it says. The Norse gods know that the wolf Fenrir will bring about the end of the world, so they have him bound and chained. While he still represents a threat for now, there is respite. Listen, the 4 of Swords is talking about rest, it's talking about stillness, it's talking about non-action. I'm not crazy about the Fenrir story. I am not a PETA member, but I am very much against doing harm to anybody. but animals in this case. So I'm not crazy about the card. But regardless, that has nothing to do with the reading. We're talking about rest and Lord. So, oh gosh, and the devil. I think today I'm talking to a man. Yesterday I was talking to a woman, a bride. If you want, go check out the reading. It's the number right before this one. I feel like this is going somewhere. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but with the first cards, Lord, Four of Swords, and the Devil. That Four of Swords and the Devil, it's talking to me about like taking a break from overindulgence, taking a break from your vices. You know, listen, when people have really bad habits or when they have vices or addictions, there are points, there are highs and there are lows, right? And then there's like this middle ground where you're like, you're taking it in, you're eating whatever it is that you're consuming, whatever it is that you're consuming, and it's not really doing anything for you. So it's time for a rest. It's time for a break on whatever it is that you're doing. We'll see why. Child. We have the Eight of Coins. I want to pull something else with this before I say anything. What do we have? A child. Ah, Ace of Wands. I was thinking initially that the child was actually a child. And that is why this could be. This could be it. If you are to have a child, this would be a good time to like cut it out with the vices and stuff. Like starting on a responsible note would be best, advisable. With that Eight of Coins and the Ace of Wands, it might not be a literal child. No, it might be just something that you want to give birth to, something that you've been working on a lot, very hard at. Like you've been working really hard for something, and I'll give another example. Sometimes people, when they're working really hard, I'm not saying everybody does this, a lot of people do, we're not naive here. If this doesn't sound like anything to you, just move on. Honestly, you can switch off. If this is for you, hit like and subscribe. But some people do indulge in vices to help them get through hard work with that Eight of Pentacles. But there is a point where you need to, like, this is where you need to check yourself. When you're coming close to the end of your goal, you need to stop it with the vices. You need to stop it with the party. You need to stop it with the craziness, because it's like, okay, now I'm going to put this out there and I want it to go well. And if I'm in vices, if I'm in stupid stuff and devil-like energy, I run the risk of sabotaging the thing that I've been working so hard for. And the Ace of Wands is up right here, okay? So it looks like it's going well. This is a warning. What do we have with Scholar? Ooh, Four of Cups. I need something else with this. We have our the Lovers. Okay, So I'm getting the two storylines. I'm getting the storyline of somebody that might be having a child. And so you need to leave those vices and that nonsense behind because it can hinder your child's life, your family life. I mean, you do really need a not a fortune teller, a card reader to tell you that some things are bad and that you have to leave them behind. If you do, I am here for it. So I'm saying it anyway. With Scholar, I do feel like this whole experience has made you very wise and grow up somehow. You are not with that Four of Cups. I feel like you're no longer tempted. Like this is a very important transition when it is, and for both addicts and non-addicts, you know when there was a point where those things, whatever it is, it doesn't have to be substance. It can be whatever kind of addiction you had. You know, you pinpoint that moment where we're like, and I stopped doing that. I stopped doing that, and I grew up and I started doing other things. And I feel like you're at that point. And with the Lovers, I do feel like you're embracing this new life. You're embracing this love, this child, this family, this new thing that is beautiful. It's not like the stuff that was before. It is very different, but it is beautiful in its own way. And it's much more challenging, and it requires much more of your part. Good for you. Congratulations. Massive. If it is the other storyline that I was picking up on, being more on the you have been working very hard to produce something. I mean, these are very parallel stories. They're not different. You're working hard to produce a baby. It's not a human baby, but it's something that you care about deeply, and you want it to grow to be something amazing, right, in your life. A project of some sorts. I do feel like there is somebody. This is where it changes a little bit. I feel like you've through this process, I feel like you've learned to value yourself. Like it came hand in hand with the letting go of certain nonsense. And you are now not as tempted to take any kind of compensate offering or for your work or for your art. And I think there's this Lover's card to me is talking more about like really self-value. I used to study arts and one thing that we used to debate a lot is what makes a successful, famous artist different from all the other artists, because there are so many artists out there. And with the internet now, you see them. But there are the artists that become famous throughout history, which now is like not so many in comparison to before. And one of the things that differentiates them is the ability to market themselves and value themselves. Of course, have a good publicist, but you have to value yourself as well. You can't just take scraps for your work or for your art. And I think that you are. I think that this maturity, this letting go of old shit is really like, it's solidifying you as a force in your field. And that is very good, and you should charge the right amount for it, whatever it is that it is. It can be an artist. So yeah, let's see what we have with the Prism. Ooh, Anchor. Okay, I'm gonna leave it with these two because these are like, I feel like the way that they are under the right cards, I will tell you why. So, anger is right underneath the devil. The devil doesn't want to let go of us, okay? These temptations want us to be there. The devil wants us to be chained to him. I don't believe in the devil, by the way. These are energies. So anger, I don't feel like you're feeling anger. I feel like it is this kind of possession, kind of red energy. I don't feel like it's anger literally. I feel like it's more like rage. There isn't a rage card here, by the way. Maybe we should read it. Okay. I never read the prison ones because it's like, what for? Ooh, look, I stopped at the right one. Anger. This card represents an acknowledgement that anger is a natural part of our life. It's okay to feel angry, but what can you do with the immense amount of energy that comes with it? How can you transform anger into something helpful for yourself and others? See, I wouldn't have come to that conclusion. I was thinking about it in another way. So, that energy that you're feeding off of, like this letting go of old shit, of bad stuff, use it to transform yourself. Use it to really help you along your way. And trust is right under the Four of Cups. Trust that you know what you're worth. Basically, that's it. Trust that you are worth it, whatever it is that you're doing, that things will develop the way that you want them to because you've put in the work. Anyway, this is a great reading. Again, big life readings, not just a Friday reading, but maybe there's something here that you worked on during the week that is very important to you, or maybe during this week you found out that you're having a baby. I do feel like I'm talking to more male energy, but it doesn't have to be. If it applies to you, it applies to you. Anyway, so much love. Enjoy your weekend, and I will see you on Monday. Bye.